Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Bad Genius, a Thai dramatic thriller from 2017 that was a box office hit in its home country. I will now quote and paraphrase a handy Wikipedia plot synopsis. So Lynn, a top secondary school student who lives with her father, is accepted into a prestigious high school, earning a scholarship for her academic achievements. Now there, she is befriended by an academically challenged girl named Grace. Lynn begins helping Grace cheat on exams and is subsequently approached by Grace's rich boyfriend Pat, who offers payment in exchange for also helping him and his friends. Although at first reluctant, Lynn agrees when she finds out that the school receives secret payments of money from her father, who earns a modest income as a teacher himself. Now, the parents of the other students have also contributed to this school's hidden slush fund of sorts, which has unknown and likely dubious uses. So Lynn devises a system of cheating to send answers during these exams. Her base of clients eventually grows, and she eventually sets her sights on the STIC, an international standardized test for university admissions, a scheme that will earn her a lot of money. So after hearing that plot synopsis, you might go into Bad Genius expecting a film that revolves around a group of protagonists with dodgy morals. And that's exactly what you get here. Motivation for our main protagonist is really kind of out of pure spite for the education system, as well as to make some money. But one of the things that I like about this film is that it does muddy the waters a little bit by providing motivating factors that are understandable on the part of the viewer. Sure, our character Lynn rebels against the education system by using immoral cheating tactics, but the system itself is portrayed as corrupt because her school is secretly milking her father's finances dry despite his modest financial class and the fact that Lynn received a full scholarship. Even right at the beginning of the movie, she has an interview with the headmistress, I think, and she specifically says, listen, I don't know if I could come to this school because it's too expensive for my dad. And the headmistress is like, oh, don't worry, we'll give you a full scholarship. She's like, oh, great. And then she finds out that they're milking her dad for all this money behind the scenes. I would probably get pissed too. You know what I mean? So as a viewer, I could understand her frustration and desire to get back at the system, so to speak, even though her methods are not exactly desirable. Also, she does use some of her money to help her father out, with his finances. She just tells him it's for tutoring sessions with her classmates. So, there's a little bit of complexity here in terms of her morality. Her friends are less sympathetic, unfortunately. In a nutshell, they just come off as kind of spoiled rich kids who are simply too lazy to put any effort into their studies. I did not care for them too that much. And then finally, there's another smart kid who gets kind of roped into these events. And his morality is also a little bit murky. He starts off pretty straight-laced, but certain things happen to him that are beyond his control that kind of put him on a not-so-great path. So, his character was a little bit interesting, too. So you have basically two interesting characters and two that are pretty unlikable. But regardless of whether or not you agree with the decisions of these characters, there is some effective dramatic conflict that builds between them. You know what I mean? They definitely butt heads at some points in the film, and that, I liked how those scenes were written. Performances, solid all around, with the highlight being our lead actress, who has a name that I could never pronounce. Regardless, she's great in this, and I look forward to more films with her as the lead. Another thing I really enjoyed about Bad Genius is how it constructs suspenseful cheating sequences. The strategies of our protagonists are pretty interesting to watch, and surprisingly intense, especially during the second half, which contributes the highlight scene of the film, which lasts about 25 minutes, a whopping 25 minutes. There are some intricate plans to enjoy as well, and that makes Bad Genius feel like a heist film, really, kind of like a fun heist film. I will say, however, that there are a few moments where the characters are being a bit too obvious when talking or communicating with one another during the exams. At some points you wonder how the teachers did not see them. It's not a constant thing, but it does happen a few times, especially during the opening half. But thankfully, our protagonists upped their game, so to speak, And the teachers aggressively pursue suspicious behavior, especially during the second half of the film, when they identify it. So this creates a lot of tension during that second half. There are also some twists and plot developments that I was not expecting, which is always a good thing. Now, the runtime of this film is over 2 full hours, but it feels a lot shorter. It feels a lot shorter because it's very nicely edited, and it maintains an energetic pace from start to finish. You know, this long runtime could have been a problem, a big problem, if the script had chosen instead to kind of drag things out slowly and kind of build up towards the final cheating sequence. But that's not the case here. I mean, there are cheating attempts right from the start of the film, and they progressively get more elaborate as it goes through. So I think that's a good choice on the part of the filmmakers to keep things moving, keep things interesting. And I found myself glued to the screen early and often with this. This is a very entertaining film, even I would say surprisingly entertaining, given its premise. So I strongly recommend Bad Genius. If it sounds interesting to you, definitely check this out. It's currently available on Netflix streaming in the United States. And as always, I'll see you next time.